Namaste, beloveds. This is Linda Pearl, and welcome to the Daily Oracle. So last week we had on the 22nd was a new moon in Gemini, and a powerful moon it was. There was a lot of twos going on, a lot of two energies. Again, they're reminding me about these twos. This two of like 2020, this was 2020 hindsight of what we are being seeing afterwards. But what's also interesting, so it was it was Gemini moon. So then the energies are a little bit in that mercurial type of space. So it's about this messenger, this information coming through. And today there's this comet that I think you can see it from the southern hemisphere, is called Swan, which has been going between the Earth and the Sun, and now supposed to be going past the far side of the Sun, something like that. But this messenger is transmitting a message, and then it transmits it into the Sun, which then transmits this to us. So what message are we receiving? We're definitely receiving this message as awakening us, awakening us at our deeper core, as well as it's bringing inside of us this idea of where it is that we want to go and how do we want to go there. Do you want to go there with the old paradigm, or do you want to go there with a new inspired idea about a new future, a new possibility? Do you want to drag the old stuff with us, or do we want to bring something new with us? So what is this new thing, this new message that is coming through? So maybe since the new moon you've had some energy flowing in and out, trying to figure out where you are, what's going on in your head. A lot of people are saying there's a lot of head stuff going on. So let us dispel all of that for now and rather keep our minds empty so that we can ask for the clearest guidance to come in with having zero expectations. And the little thing they want me to share with you before we get started is I've been receiving at least this guidance. I've been using this one deck of cards, and this one card has now come out 3 times, and it's talking about memories, golden memories. And if you read in the book, it says something about somebody who is thinking of you. But when you look at the card, there's a lot more information in that card, where it feels like there's like source light transmitting a message, and these messages coming through these memories, these reawakenings, these things that are inside of us that are being activated. So what is being activated inside of you? What are you feeling in you? What is coming through for you? So again, it's this message that's being transmitted. So let us find this place where we can place maybe our hands on our bodies and we can really breathe into ourselves. And every time we breathe in, we're inspiring spirit to mingle with our beingness, mingle with our cellular body. And as we inspire the breath in, we feel that inspiration to flow into our cells and to feel inspired, mind, body, and spirit, so we can move into the world. So let us breathe deeply into our body, finding spirit within our cells of our body, within our mind of our body, within our spirit. And as we exhale, let us just let go of all thoughts, no thinking, so we can be clear vessels to receive this guidance now, knowing that this guidance will be the highest guidance that is needed now. So let us receive all that we need and all that we need to know now. Let's take another inspired breath together. There you all go. And just sing. Let's see what guidance has for us today, knowing that guidance is always crystal clear. And so it's kind of a weird one. This is tantric union, but I'm going to tell you right now, I did this meditation just before this, and the card that came out said relationship. And so I've been getting this inspiration from source, if you will, about this union. So this is tantric union. So really getting closely, and what I've learned about tantric is not specifically this kind of tantric union, but tantra, seeing the beauty in the world. And there's a lot more to that too, but just on the high level. But there's this unification that's happening. And they also remind me about our connection to the angels, because the angels keep wanting to create this union with us too. But this union is really about high life, living spirit, source light, really creating that spirit within. And even if you look at the picture, you can imagine what's going on here. And it's inseminating us, if you will, with spirit within. So this is this guidance that keeps wanting to come through. It's kind of a weird depiction in this particular card, but it's wanting us to have this loving, this unification, seeing the beauty of spirit within all things, especially within us, our body. And then also, as we start to see spirit within, we start to have this loving union, having this tantric perspective of how beautiful we are, how beautiful the world is, because we fall out of that realization or that perspective, and we don't see the beauty in the world, especially when we're going through phases like this in humanity. We look at all that is bad, if you will, and we label it as bad, and we're forgetting that part of all of this that's going on is part of this greater cosmic cycle. It's not just this thing happening here on earth. It is, of course, but there's so many stories around it, and if you try and connect and think about all these stories and figure them all out, at the end of the day you get exhausted, and maybe then you're filled with anxiety or rage or sadness, or who knows what you're filled with. And so we need to shift our perspective and to start to see, like, this card could be seen as strange or weird, right? It's perspective. But if you look at it closely, or even from far away, you start to see that there's this unification happening, this seeing this rather as beauty. And so let us look for the beauty in the world and start to hone that relationship, create that union with the world, seeing spirit in all things, especially within us. So this union that we have with ourselves is so essential, like that essential, there's sensual in that as well. So let us have a essential relationship, this unification with spirit in all things, in all ways, especially with ourselves, and especially with life as we view it out in the world. Let us make it sacred, this unification. Let us every day wake up saying, thank you for this union, this sacred sensual union. And maybe it's also this idea about waking up our senses and having a sensual relationship with ourselves too, how we savor something. So if you're drinking water, can you savor that? When you're at home by yourself, if you're choosing to stay home, enjoy that space. Make it a essential relationship. Allow your senses to be enlightened. Create this unification. Change your perspective of how you see things. See living spirits in all things, especially from within. So let us create this, and it's almost like almost like pod. It's like coating this, like a seed that wants to give birth. So this unification, there's cells that come together to give birth to something new. So something new, like this messenger has been saying, has been coming through, been flying past through the moon, through the Gemini moon too. There's two twos. There's this message that wants to come through, and it's this unification that's going to ignite it and bring it into the world. I can see how the story wants to evolve and how it wants to be shared in the world. But first, let us create this unification from within and have this essential relationship with ourselves, a sacred, essential relationship. I love all of that. That sounds beautiful. So as we go back into our days, and no matter when you're hearing this too, this is a perfect message for you too. It's essential for us to have that self-love, self-caring regime, so we can really hone in and start to have this relationship and this unification with ourselves from a loving perspective. So as you look into the mirror, smile at yourself and remind yourself how loving you are, how essential it is to be sensual in the world. Hopefully that makes sense. So from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. And again, this is Belinda Pearl, and you can always find me at belindapearl.com. And if you're listening to this, I will be having on June 11th a pendulum workshop, an introduction to pendulums, to dowsing. But I have something really special to share about how to use a pendulum. I want to say correctly, but in a way that has been shown to me through Living Spirit, how to really use a pendulum in a way that you are getting the most accurate information that is really required for you now in this time. And it's a sacred union too when you work with a pendulum or any form of dowsing. So again, from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste.